新冠肺炎疫情持续在全球蔓延着，我们需要采取有效的防疫措施来减缓扩散。让我们一起来了解防疫的3不5多与6绝招，来保护你我的健康与安全。5多是多洗手、多喝温开水、多运动、多欢喜与多防范。3不是不生气、不忧虑、不紧张。6绝招有：勤洗手、戴口罩、保持社交距离、维持正向思考、避免接触眼、鼻和口，做好呼吸运动，提升肺活量。确实做到防疫妙招，守护你我的健康与安全，共同合力，一起安心度过疫情。太极门关心您，与您一同守护大家的健康。
各位线上观众大家好，欢迎收看全民开讲终结假案系列论坛，我是今天的主持人。全球疫情严峻，在这防疫的关键时刻，大家一起3不5多6绝招，用良心与诚实一起安心度过疫情。今天是329青年节，是为了纪念黄花岗72烈士，因为有先贤先烈的奋斗，我们才有今天的民主法治。但是国内仍有一群人被威权迫害超过25年，超过1/4个世纪。这么多年来，他们非常沉痛地表达他们的心声。
大人冤枉啊！古有击鼓鸣冤，青天明鉴洗冤屈。
为什么你看不见？现在大人都近视，看不见人民的苦痛。为什么你听不见？现在大人都中听，听不见人民的心声。为什么你看不见？现在大人都无感，你怎能没感觉？为什么你听不见？烫上一点珠，百姓千滴血从古至今流不停。国家机器长黑幕，重重黑手暗操纵，司法、税务、行政双手间，步步猎杀，绝对不留情。
官官相护，
好大喜功的检察官，无中生有，不守程序，朝朝印痕追杀令，好像在演长寿剧。
官官相护，
横征暴敛的国税局，他不查证据，他不求证，张张税单一直不停开。
官官相护，
行政法院来护航，次次驳回又重复来，究竟不会成，愿意非常深。看不见，
监察院大人，正义在哪里？
为什么你听不见？
监察院大人，还我名誉财产！
搜索压人不解释，整件事情根本就嘲讽式。说是贪心自救会，断水断电又封管，检察官整个黑白母，人民走法院清楚惊糟咖，20年的青春隆重了落去，含泪含冤含污名，真相只能看下去。看不见，
国税局大人，良心在哪里？
为什么你听不见？
国税局大人，撤销违法税单。
不查事实，天外飞来天文志，不看真相，赠与不是补习费，不顾人权。 冻结财产，建出近万年税当，无限轮回一直开。拿人民薪水打政府官司，一停接一停，一手换一手。研究季钱拿来打官司，谁怕谁？人情税、家破税，自己决议向谁讨？
总统大人，人民冤枉啊！总统大人，主持公道。
太极门冤案是个简单的事实，就连3岁小孩都看得出来。偏偏有些官员他上班不带脑，只想要自保，只想要升官，真假是非，政府傻傻分不清，连学者专家都看不下去。检察院纠正你当放屁，人民冤案无限拖，推卸责任根本没人理，浪费人民辛苦的纳税钱，国家机器完全都失灵，祸国殃民，千古罪人。证监会戳破纵谎言，公开真相揭黑幕。证监总会戳破纵谎言，公开真相一起揭黑幕。
太极门1219事件刑案历经10年3个月的缜密审理，在2007年7月13日司法3审判决确定无罪、无欠税、无违反税捐稽征法。在台湾，上至总统，下至黎民百姓，这是人人都必须遵守的结果。更何况案件中全数被告均获国家冤狱赔偿，这就是国家认证的冤错假案。太极门案件被列入台湾重大人权保障指标性案件，专家学者称它为台湾法税228。这个案件也受到国际瞩目，得到国内外许多专家学者的声援。他们皆要求台湾政府立即平反太极门1219冤错假案，终止人权迫害，终止宗教信仰自由迫害，让公平正义得以伸张。
Non-governmental organizations in consultative status with the United Nations have been concerned with the Taiji Men Qigong Academy case, even if Taiwan is not a member of the United Nations. The Taiji Men case has two aspects. One, of the defense of religious and spiritual liberty, and two, the fair and transparent tax procedures. Taiji Men has been very active in cultural exchanges with other countries, so that many people have learned of the rich cultural life and heritage of Taiwan. The Taiji Men issue has been much discussed in Taiwan, in the media, in the parliament, in law courts, and in public hearings. The issues are clear, and we appeal that the tax issue can be settled in a just and open way as quickly as possible.
I think it's a blemish on what is a very fine system of justice in Taiwan. The role of government, the role of tax authorities, the role of prosecutors, their role is not to seize property, okay? Their role is not to prosecute people. That may be what they do, but that's not their role. What is their role then? Their role is to seek justice. Their role is to follow the rule of law. Because we're not here to prosecute or persecute people, we're here to seek justice. And if justice from information that comes and is learned afterwards shows that a prior ruling, a prior conviction, a prior tax assessment was wrong, then it should be corrected. That is precisely the case in the Taiji Men tax case. And it is inconceivable to me that there's even a discussion about 1992 because the situation and circumstances there were no different than they were for the other years in which there's been a negotiation down to zero of the tax liability. And the world is watching. People are watching how this case is going to be handled. And I encourage all of the decision makers, to put a stop to this, to not seize any property and not perpetuate an injustice that has gone on for 24 years.
It's clear, it's perfectly clear that basing on the whole story of this太极门tax case, the tax office should be stopped from making any tax claim for the year 1992. And this is just exactly as you recalled, based on the principle of estoppel. Government is one. Different agencies cannot take different decisions, but there must be compliance with the law and with the principles. So we all hope that this case may be handled in the perfect way and be concluded in favor of太极門.
As long as the problem remains inside the borders of a specific country and is not exposed to the international community, there is no long-standing solution. Building up a coalition of scholars and human rights NGOs and NGOs defending religious freedom, so that Taiwan, which is a thriving democracy, and I want to really stress it, that I've been in Taiwan and I really hail what they have achieved in the last centuries and even now in this period of pandemics. So give visibility to your cause in all the ways that are at your disposal, and we can help you. And the Chesnur can also be assistance.
It's to be hoped that the current government of Taiwan will be able to repair the damage caused to太極門under previous governments since the mid-1990s.
They claim that for 1992, the appeal terms had expired. But of course, there is no appeal term when decisions are grossly unjust. They can always be revised. In conclusion, what is happening now? Now the tax office is insisting with its bill for 1992 and threatens to seize properties of太極門and auction them, which will cause enormous harm to太極門and to freedom of belief. It's not about money.太極門has spent more in legal expenses than what will pay if they paid the tax bill for 92. It's about principle. They didn't commit any wrongdoing, and they don't want to admit this. It will be false.
I am not an expert in Taiwanese tax law, and I'm only starting to study your spiritual organization, but I have an awful lot of sympathy for your case, and I'm here today to say a little bit comparing太極門case to other cases around the world. When we think about religious persecution, we sometimes think of heresy trials, or people are burned at the stake, or the Spanish Inquisition. But in the present day, religious harassment is more likely to take place in the form of illicit and unfair court cases. And so tax laws, zoning laws, being able to have occupancy of a building, these are the kinds of instances where religious minorities find themselves persecuted today.
The power of the state should be the ability to protect and defend individuals and groups, especially the most feeble among them. But in this case, it turns out that the state did just the contrary. In the Taiji Men case, the power has been used, the power of the state has been used to discriminate against individuals and a group. When justice was returned to Taiji Men in criminal court, the ordeal of this group didn't finish, because in fact, tax offices continue to haunt Taiji Men with invalid tax demands.
I met Dr. Hong, the founder of Taiji Men, in Europe. He's clearly an ambassador of Chinese culture and spirituality abroad, trying to unite and to have an interreligious dialogue among various groups through what unites us and not through what divides us. This is so needed today in our extremely turbulent world. They are good ambassadors of the values and cultural riches Taiwan stands for, and Taiwan should be grateful for this.
冤错假案若不解决，国家无法进步，甚至会倒退，且台湾也无法在国际上立足。国内外专家学者皆强调并呼吁台湾政府必须立即平反太极门1219冤错假案，如此台湾才是真正的民主、法治、自由、人权的国家。在节目最后，让我们一起聆听和平祝祷歌，一起真心祈愿人人良心觉醒，终止战乱及苦难，祈愿冤错假案立即平反，世界祥和永续。谢谢大家。
Let us illuminate our inner lights, calm our hearts and pray for the world. May heaven have mercy on its children and allow them to return to the arms of love. Put down the weapon of hatred while praying sincerely for the world. We hear the call of our conscience, my brothers and sisters who are also suffering. I'm praying for May there be no more flame of conflict and no more war. May our wishes for peace come true. May the light of hope arrive. Let us use love to relieve all our fear and pain with confidence and courage. People will rebuild their homes. We are grateful today that you and I are moving forward together. Praying warm people's hearts. Smile from your heart. Love yourselves and the people around.